So I'm removing the sausage casing. Let me tell you, this dish is it's 50-50. One restaurant they'll do the sausage cut into pieces on a bias, and that's great that way. And the other half of the restaurants will have it crumbled. Nothing substitutes for broccoli rabe in this dish. It's really the combination of the broccoli rabe, the bitter broccoli rabe with the spicy cherry peppers and the sausage, and the orecchiette. You're here already, so I know you like it. Or maybe you're curious. Broccoli rabe, it goes by the name of rapini in other parts of the country, but it's super common here in Long Island and in the New York metro. It's rare you'll go to any supermarket where they don't carry it. Even like the non-Italian places have a ton of it. Like I got this at Stop and Shop today, which is a national, chain, and their broccoli rabe's great because just a lot of people buy it. The biggest seller of broccoli rabe in America is the brand name Andy Boy. So normally wherever you get it, because I used to live in Minnesota, it was Andy Boy. Moved back here to Long Island, Andy Boy. I rarely ever see it where it doesn't come from them. Now, if you go to a little farm or something like that, then obviously you get it that way. So when you buy broccoli rabe, you want to make sure that the buds are green like this. No yellow in them. When there's yellow on the end of the buds, you really don't want to buy it. I would just leave it alone. Same thing on the stems. If it's like mushy at all on the stems where they made the cut, I would leave it alone too. Sometimes you just got to pass, if the batch of whatever veggie you're looking for, if it's not good, it's not good. This dish is really good with a lot of garlic, and this is good garlic. How do you know if you have bad garlic? Well, don't keep your garlic in the fridge, number one. But the other thing is, if the garlic starts growing a root, like a green root, it's past the point. I mean, you can still use it, but you really don't want to. I keep the garlic and my onions in a closet, dark closet. They last a long time. But if they go bad, you toss it. I never buy the jarred stuff, never use it. I'm just cutting these garlic, the big cloves of garlic, I'm cutting them in half. So I'm cutting everything roughly the same size. So if I have a real big clove and a small one, I'm cutting them to be the same size. So they'll cook roughly the same when we put them in the oil. If we have like a really huge clove and we have little tiny pieces, the tiny pieces are going to burn first before the big clove gets golden. Let's talk cherry peppers. Regular cherry peppers. This sliced cherry peppers right here. And then hoagie spread, which is just mashed cherry peppers. These are all from Cento, the make. They don't own the market here in New York, but they have they have a lot of products, and I think they're a Pennsylvania company, but they definitely sell here, because when I lived in Minnesota, I barely saw Cento at all. So I think they're kind of more a regional brand. For this dish, we just want to take as many as you can handle, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to put 6 full cherry peppers for a pound of pasta, which I think is a good amount, and we're just going to chop them. You can take the seeds out if you want, but you don't have to. If you take the seeds out, there'll be a little less heat will be in it. But cherry peppers aren't very hot. They're about equal to a jalapeno pepper. I'd say they're about 4,000 or 5,000 on the Scoville unit. I think a jalapeno is like 5,000 to 8,000. If you can't handle a jalapeno, you probably want to be careful with these. You don't have to wear gloves or anything when you work with these peppers. I mean, well, don't hold me to that. I know somebody's going to get hurt if they do it, but I've never used gloves in my life when I'm touching cherry peppers. So right there, I think that means they're less than jalapenos, because the reason I prefer to buy the whole cherry peppers instead of the sliced ones, they slice these things like, with a machine, and a lot of times you'll get stems in there. Like they're just slicing them, and it's kind of like, you're like, oh, I got to go through it now. You know, another dish that uses these cherry peppers in the Long Island, New York area and the greater, New York metro is calamari arrabbiata. And that one, the way most restaurants here do that is they will fry the calamari and then they'll toss it with a very thick tomato paste like sauce that has these cherry peppers in it and the cherry pepper vinegar and then like basil. It's really, really good. I'm gonna make that one. Probably make that around Christmas time for seven fishes. I've been holding off a lot of my seafood dishes now until Christmas time. Like I already filmed lobster fra diavolo and stuffed calamari. I already filmed. All right, so that's a real good amount, and definitely serve more cherry peppers on the side for anybody who wants it. It's a no-brainer with this dish. I'm cooking my pasta to about a minute less than al dente. So, a little bit harder than you would normally want it. We'll finish it in here. You would need an even big, typically you would want an even bigger pan than this. I'll make it fit. It's going to be hard to flip this one. And this is not, this is a flat wall pan, so it's hard to do it, to increase emulsification. But we should be okay. I'm going to add some pasta water in here. We want about probably at least a cup of pasta water. That's why I just recommend that you don't even use a colander ever. You just use a spider. And by doing this, you never lose your pasta water. So say you're waiting for your family to come downstairs. Say say that beautiful dish you had is now dry. You take a ladle and then you get new, you basically, you make it brand new again. You can even taste this right now. Make sure your broccoli rabe has enough salt on it. Bitter greens need a lot of salt. Make sure also that your thicker pieces are tender enough. I'll do that right now. Delicious. I am going to add a little bit more salt. Okay, I'm going to add in 2 ladles of pasta water. I'm doing this about a minute or two before my pasta's done. And this is making the sauce. We need a little bit of a sauce here. So without this, it would be dry. Just test your pasta. Just keep testing it as you're making it. Don't rely on the box instructions ever. Even though I'll tell you, DiCecco's a great brand. You never know, you know, maybe you're not boiling strong enough, or maybe it went off for a minute. Just, you know, just check it. And with this type of this sauce and what we're making here, you don't need to excessively drain the pasta at all. I'm gonna let it cook for 1 more minute here. You can test it. Make sure that all right, I'm turning my heat off. It's pretty much good. There's a little bit of liquid here. What's going to happen is all the pasta is in the meat, and the broccoli rabe is going to absorb it all. That's why you have more pasta water on the side. You just thin it if you need to. Make any final adjustments that you need. And here's the parsley. Got about 1/4 cup, 1/2 cup. I like my parsley always minced very fine. If it tends to be too big, then it tends to not be enjoyable, in my opinion. Use extra virgin olive oil. Use cheese, pecorino romano, parmesan, whatever you want that you like. And definitely a lot of cherry peppers on the side. Sausage, broccoli rabe, orecchiette. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.